21-year-old's always going to win.
It was a really good tactical foul by the letter of the law, really is. Shouldn't really be applauding fouls, but in terms of a Cameroon perspective, if that challenge wasn't made and Brazil score, they could kiss goodbye to their chances of progressing through Group G in what's already a very tall order, as Serbia still haven't managed to get back on equal terms against the Swiss. They've got a chance here from the set piece though, Brazil, just outside the penalty area, fairly wide though, it'll be about 20 or so yards out from goal. Rafinha, Dani Alves standing over it, will almost likely be a cross in towards the box. Brazil fans in the crowd with their phones out, ready to film as the ball comes in from Dani Alves. Not a great one towards the near post, headed away by Cameroon. Rafinha will pick up the loose scraps though. I look to go again now with Bruno Guimaraes on the left-hand side. Here from the set piece all the way towards the goalkeeper in Edison, who first time finds it out towards his right-hand side. Dani Alves, Militao ahead of him, goes in towards Bruno Guimaraes in the middle of the field. He's been brought to ground there by Anguissa. Anguissa's done really well there to dispossess Bruno Guimaraes and battle to win the ball back for his country. And now Olivier Incham just dancing in and out of Brazilian bodies before dropping the ball back in towards his defensive teammates. Anguissa's got a lot of space ahead of him on this left-hand side. Plays a 1-2 there with Oliver Incham in towards Vincent Aboubakar. He's dispossessed there by Pedro, and now Brazil will look to counter-attack. I'm sure there won't be in any rush to throw bodies forward here as Everton Ribeiro picks the ball out on the left-hand side. Marquinhos into Martinelli. Under pressure here from Tomko Ekambi. It's Choupo-Moting who is actually there, battling, nipping at the ankles of the young Brazilian winger. And Brazil back into steady possession. And at this point, you just wonder whether Brazil will be happy to set up shop and just take the point and make sure they've got a 100% record going into the knockouts.
Yeah, I think that might be the wisest thing to do, but they're coming forward now.
They've got a chance here with Rafinha breaking into the penalty area, really direct running from him, and the ball into the box. Massive chance from Everton Ribeiro to get a shot on goal. It's Bruno Guimaraes who actually gets there at the near post, plays the ball out to Rafinha and instantly makes that darting run completely unmarked, but it's massive defending there from the defender Wool to get there ahead of Bruno Guimaraes, just to close up the angle for him and make it a little bit more difficult for the Brazilian. He doesn't actually get a touch on it, Wu, but it's a really good challenge to come in and put Guimaraes off. Yeah,
it's a fantastic piece of defending by Wu. He just steps in and gets to him first. I mean, it's gone behind for a corner kick. I'm not too sure where the touch came from, but that's what Rafinha does. He's direct. Rather than go inside on his left foot, he decided to go on the outside, which I think may have outfoxed the Cameroonian defenders. The corner has come in. It wasn't a great delivery. That's been a theme of tonight as well.
Yeah, it has. And it looked like they were breaking for a counter-attack there, Cameroon, but they've been stopped in their tracks by a swift pull on the shirt from Bruno Guimaraes. She's going to go straight into the referee's book for that one. A common theme for this evening as players breaking on a counter-attack, and a lot of tactical fouls are flying in to break up play.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when we get to the latter stages of games, when there's a lot of things on the line. Cameroon are going to make another alteration. It looks like Jerome and Bekele is going to come on. Just a third cap for him. Just seeing who's coming off. It's Ngomelu who's coming off, and Bekele is coming on to replace him. We saw a few of the Cameroonian fans in the stand almost dissenting that change. I don't think some of them were too happy with that decision.
It's a change that's more than lightly spirited by Rigobert Song. Expecting players to go out there and give 100% no matter what their chances are of progressing. They'll want them to give everything they can until the final whistle. He won't settle for any less as Anguissa now looks to feed the ball in towards Olivier Incham. Helps it further towards Choupo-Moting. And now they've got a chance to whip a ball into the area. It's a dangerous one, but nobody was there at the front post. Challenge came in there from Bremer. Cameroon building a little bit of momentum here.
Yeah, they are, and it's the substitute, Bekele, who got the low ball into the box. Oh, and he's just miscontrolled it straight from the throw-in. Almost unforgivable, really, when you don't control the ball properly from there. Tite looks on from the sideline. He's just barking out instructions to his players. I mean, I think he'll be reasonably satisfied with this performance, given that they made wholesale changes. They've not conceded a goal. I mean, that'll be something that'll really please him. 3 clean sheets. Brazil coming forward now.
Yeah, Rafinha with a chance to cause havoc for this Cameroon defence. He's still moving forward. They've had to double up on him as Anguissa came across to cover. They're still moving forward though, Brazil. Gabriel Martinelli has got space in the box for Bruno Guimaraes. His first touch. Not sure whether he was trying to feed it further on to Pedro or go for goal. If it was a shot on goal, it was a very tame effort. I think it was more so a first touch to try and put it in the danger zone, but can't make anything work there as Brazil running out of ideas now, and Bruno Guimaraes not helping that there with the ball into his feet. Just didn't really get it out quick enough. And it'll be pretty comfortable for Cameroon.
Yeah, I think he was caught in 2 minds there, to be honest, whether to go for the shot or go for the cross. He puts too much pace on it for the cross, not enough pace for the shot. Nicely worked in midfield by Bruno Guimaraes, and it's noticeable they're trying to get the ball to Rafinha as much as he can.
Yeah, Rafinha looking very dangerous here as he looks to try and take on his man once again. He's doing really well to get in towards the penalty area, making fine inroads on the Cameroon box. But he's been stopped in his tracks by Tolo, who's been in fine form all evening, as he may have gone down there just asking for a slight bit of treatment. The physios are up to their feet. Tolo being helped back to his feet by his teammates. With the new FIFA laws we're seeing introduced with added time, it's not going to favour him to time waste, is it? Especially in the fact that they need a goal as well, so his teammates are helping him back to his feet as quick as they can.
Yeah, that's what they've got to do. Cameroon need to go and get the win, but it's looking such a forlorn task now. It's still 3-2 to Switzerland in the other game, and Cameroon are looking doomed.
Yeah, they are, and then a really nice chance sets up for Pedro in the penalty area. It's a really glaring opportunity. He had nobody around him, plenty of time and space from the throw-in. The Cameroon defenders just switched off there, nobody marking him. He takes it out of his feet really nicely, just turns on the half turn, snatches at the effort. It's always rising. He's lifted it over the crossbar. That was a glaring opportunity for Brazil.
Yeah, big opportunity to take the lead. I think Pedro was just off balance as he went for the strike there, maybe thinking that he didn't have quite as much time as he did, because he had time for another touch. There were no Cameroon defenders that near to him, so Pedro maybe just a little bit undercooked as Brazil play it through the midfield now with Everton Ribeiro.
The ball forward looking for Pedro. It almost falls nicely to Bruno Guimaraes, but a good bit of defending comes flying in from what we've seen time and time again this evening from this Cameroon side. They've been so astute at the back, always there throwing their bodies on the line to preserve their clean sheet, but it's up the other end. They're struggling to score goals. You can't fault anything they've done defensively. They just haven't really managed to make it work in the final third. Brazil come forward once again. Dani Alves whips the ball into the box. Nobody was prying on the end of the cross though. Pedro was making the run behind the defenders. Been a miscommunication between him and Dani Alves, and well, getting on the end of the loose pass. It is the introduction, Mbekele, who was absolutely flying past Bremer before the ball fell pretty favourably towards the Brazil goalkeeper and Ederson, but Mbekele, he's got lightning pace to burn on that right-hand side, looking to break behind the Brazil defence.
Yeah, he does, and they need to try and give him the ball as much as they can, because I think he's had a good cameo so far. I mean, Brazil are playing it upfield. It's almost like Cameroon have got no midfield, because there are just gaps emerging everywhere, and Brazil could try and force a winning goal now. Cross comes in from Martinelli, and it's cleared behind by Christopher Wu for a Brazil corner. I mean, Cameroon are having to gamble now, and that's why Brazil are getting forward so often.
Yeah, Christopher Wu with a good bit of defending. Once again, throwing his body on the line there to preserve this clean sheet that they do have. Brazil do have the chance from the corner. We're going to see 9 additional minutes of added time on top of the mandatory 90, so plenty of time still left to play, and it still could be anyone's game.
Yeah, it could. I mean, 9 minutes, that'll be music to Cameroon's ears, but unfortunately, again, we go back to the point. They need Serbia to do them a favour as the corner comes in. It's up towards Bremer. It's cleared up in the air by Olivier Ncham, so Brazil still with a chance to get the ball and get forward.
It's been broken down there. Eddie Militao trying to chase the ball on this near side. He couldn't latch on to the end of the pass. Cameroon with a chance from the throw-in. Able to take the throw-in and hold a problem. asked the boss to come over and take the throw. Has dropped into that centre-back role to fill.
Great consequence and massive interest in these parts.
It can be, but once again, Brazil in steady possession, and the game's just fallen a little bit flat now. I think Cameroon have realised it's too much of an uphill battle now.
Consequence and massive interest in these parts. Barely a breath of wind, so the football has no excuses for not being at its very best. The teams I know are pumped for this. There are fantastic scenes in the stands. There is a great sense of drama here, a great sense of excitement and expectation.
Last time out has done it at the death here to give Cameroon a 1-0 lead against Brazil.
Well, I don't want to be a killjoy, but he's just taking his shirt off and he's been booked, so I think he's going to get sent off for that as Neymar looks on. Vincent Aboubakar with the goal. It's a really good counter-attack. I don't think Aboubakar realises just what he's done there, so we'll wait and see what fate belies him. But Cameroon, really, really good play from Vincent Aboubakar. Steamed into the box, got on the end of that header, and Cameroon lead by a 1-0, and what an ending we could have.
Yeah, Vincent Aboubakar shows his shirt towards the fans, but the referee is there with the red card in his hands. Vincent Aboubakar is not going to play out the final few minutes of this game. Referee goes over just to have a word with him, shakes Aboubakar's hand, and I think he realises what he's done now, and he has been sent off. If there is a miraculous change in the Serbia-Switzerland game, and Cameroon do somehow get themselves into the round of 16, Vincent Aboubakar will not be able to continue.
I've never known someone look so happy to get a red card. It's really strange, but it's good direct play. It's old-fashioned wide play from Cameroon. The cross is absolutely perfect on that far side. I'm not actually sure who it was that sent it into the box, but the header was also a cross goal. Ederson was rooted to his spot. Perfect strike from Vincent Aboubakar, and I think the millisecond he took his shirt off, he probably knew what his fate was.
Yeah, I think he over-exaggerated the celebration slightly, realising his fate. There was no turning back. He might as well double down on his efforts and make the most and milk that celebration.
He's
and
absolutely
exactly
perfect
now
on that far side. I'm not actually sure who it was that sent it into the box, but the header was also a cross goal. Ederson was rooted to his spot. Perfect strike from Vincent Aboubakar, and I think the millisecond he took his shirt off, he probably knew what he's...
Go out for a goal kick, so they'll have a chance to settle things down now, Cameroon, and they're going to be praying for a result in the other game between Serbia and Switzerland, which still hasn't come to a conclusion. As it stands, Switzerland still go through on 6 points, Cameroon on 4. So definitely desperate times, but it's still not over and it's still not out of the realms of possibility.
No, it isn't, and Cameroon have just got to hope, more than hope. We are 90 plus 5 minutes into the Serbia-Switzerland game. We're not sure how much time has been added on in that one, so Switzerland have simply got to try and hold on to their win against Serbia, 3-2. I mean, it's been a stout effort from Cameroon throughout this evening. I think they were poor in the first half, but they've been much better in this second period. The only problem is they've been so open in midfield, they've allowed Brazil many chances to get forward.
They have, well, I'm not obviously watching the game in the other game in Group G, but I can imagine how it's playing out. Switzerland sitting back, trying to preserve their win. Serbia throwing everything but the kitchen sink at them in order to bring it back to level terms. But even if they do, Serbia still won't be progressing no matter the outcome. As the ball goes into the box for Brazil, the header in by Pedro. Wasn't going to test the goalkeeper there, but it wasn't far away from going goal bound. Just flies wide of the post, and you can see the hearts were in the mouths of the Cameroon fans in the stadium. Samuel Eto'o watching on there. Really good chance for Brazil to level things.
Yeah, absolutely. A really good opportunity. Excellent cross sent into the box, and Pedro just gets the slightest sort of glancing blow on that header. It wasn't enough to redirect it towards target. I mean, what do Cameroon do now? Do they try and build upon this lead, because goal difference could come into the state of play as well, or do they hold on for everything they've got? I mean, it's the psychological warfare, really, of the third group game when groups are as tight as this.
Yeah, as the ball goes out towards Martinelli. Rivera making a run in the overlap. So is Marquinhos. Marquinhos does receive it back though on the unfavoured left foot. Scoops the ball in towards Bruno Guimaraes, and it's a big header. Looked like it was heading for the top corner before a massive save from a Apasi to deny. The Brazilian midfielder, he got across his box and did well to hold onto it as well, not tip it back into trouble. But another big chance for Brazil to equal things.
Yeah, he slightly mistimes the jump, so the header's kind of going in more of a looping fashion rather than powerfully towards goal, and that makes the save more straightforward for Apasi, but he was unmarked as well, so that's a huge opportunity for Brazil.
Looking to move forward with Fabinho now. There's not much time left for the Brazilians to preserve their unbeaten streak in Group G. Martinelli moving forward, he's got Marquinhos further out wide, does go back towards the defender. Now Fabinho, they're looking to move from left to right here, Brazil. Plenty of space on this right-hand side for Dani Alves to hook the ball in towards the far post. It's a good one towards Marquinhos, heads it back into trouble, and then Martinelli can't finish it off. It's a free header. The ball was just behind the Arsenal man, so he couldn't direct it downwards at goal, and it flies past the post. And it just came a little bit too quick for Martinelli as it arrives on their head, and they just, no matter what they're trying, they can't get the ball over the line, Brazil.
Yeah, it's just been one of those evenings for Brazil where you could probably ask them to play another 90 minutes and they probably wouldn't score. Really good play from Marquinhos, reversing it back to Martinelli, but you're absolutely right. He simply couldn't react and get off the ground quickly enough for that ball to come across, so it was always going to go over the bar, or the header was always going to go rising into the sky. And Cameroon have got a minute to hold on, and it looks like it's going to be a bittersweet victory for them.
Yeah, Dani Alves throws the ball back in play for Brazil as they've got around about a minute left of additional time here. Marquinhos helps it on further to Martinelli. Always looking to take on his man despite being almost 100 minutes into the football game. Still taking on players with ease here as Everton Ribeiro hooks the ball in towards the penalty area. Can't pick out Rafinha, but it's fallen back towards Eder Militao. Once again, Dani Alves with plenty of space on this right-hand side. Delivers a ball deep towards the far post. Martinelli can't win it, but it's back down to Rafinha. And then a shot. Opportunity to slot home. And he's just hooked it over the crossbar and over the goalkeeper. It still remains Cameroon 1, Brazil 0.
Down, but as Bruno Guimaraes wants to go and strike it, the ball takes a bounce up into the air. It's almost hip height, so he has to get his leg up and he can't keep it underneath the crossbar. Amazing stuff, really, this end of this game.
It's almost all but said and done here as the Cameroonians realise that it's not going their way this evening. No matter what they do, they've got their result against tournament favourites Brazil, but even that wasn't enough for them as the ball was played forward from Cameroon, gone out of play for a Brazil throw. Get the game back underway quickly here as Brazil want to maintain their unbeaten record in Group G and use that momentum to progress into the round of 16. As it stands, they'll be playing South Korea on Tuesday, but they've run the ball out of play for a goal kick, and you just think that might be everything.
Yeah, I think we're about to hit the 100-minute mark now, and I don't think Brazil have got anything left in the tank. Cameroon earning, I suppose, a well-deserved victory because they've taken their chance, and Brazil haven't taken any of theirs that have been presented to them.
And they've had plenty of opportunities, Brazil, much like the game against Switzerland. Maybe some slight concerns for Tite's side that they've had all these opportunities and they haven't done anything with it, but the referee has drawn a close to the spectacle. Despite their fantastic efforts, Cameroon will be crashing out of Group G as Brazil top the group and go through in towards the round of 16 to face South Korea. But it's all heartbreak for Cameroon, as no matter what they did, they, as it stands, will not be progressing through the group, as Serbia have failed to get a result against Switzerland.
Full time, it's finished Cameroon 1, Brazil 0. The indomitable Lions won't be going through to the knockout stages despite getting a late win. Vincent Abubakar with the only goal of the game in the 91st minute, heading home a wonderful cross from Kelly. He got sent off in the ensuing celebration because he took his shirt off despite being booked. Brazil had countless chances to score throughout the game. Martinelli's shot well saved by the keeper, and then a free header in added time. But it's finished Cameroon 1, Brazil 0.
He's not going to blow him away.
It's been a bittersweet evening for Cameroon, who've beaten Brazil by 1-0 in their final World Cup group match. But unfortunately, because of Switzerland's 3-2 victory against Serbia, they crash out of the tournament. The first half wasn't really anything to write home about. Brazil had the better of the opportunities. Gabriel Martinelli's header, a cross goal from Fred's ball, was really well saved by Davis Apassi in goal. Martinelli then had a strike on the stroke of half-time, which was tipped over. Cameroon's only chance of that first half came just before half-time as well. A ball played across to Buemo at the back post. His downwards header was brilliantly stopped by Edison. He tipped it away for a corner kick. It was the second half, really, in which most of the action came to the fore. Cameroon decided to open the game up, and it was much more of an interesting watch. Brazil had countless opportunities to get their names on the score sheet, but unfortunately, it wasn't a night for their shooting boots. Martinelli had a curler, which was well stopped once again by Apassi, and then from the resulting corner kick, the ball fell to Eder Militao, who volleyed the ball left-footed, and it was nearly spilled into his own goal by Apassi, but then he somehow reached for it and put it round the post. Cameroon came forward on a few occasions. Their substitutes made an impact. One of them, Olivier Ncham, drove forward from around about 25